but yes, Playboy, I did get an invite from Playboy, and I'm not saying, I don't know how many others of us got those invites from Playboy, and I don't doubt it too that Playboy would send us an invite, because this event is hosting the most beautiful women from their own respective countries. And yeah, it's, you would think it's only normal that Playboy and Hugh Hefner and Donald Trump, come on, but and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. You have the option of accepting it or not, and the pageant is done. I mean, that's just, that's an option for you. For that was an option for us. Whoever else got an invite. It was an invite in the form of a letter. I can't remember because it was like so many years ago, but I think they had it delivered to my room, and I'm pretty sure they had it delivered to other contestants' rooms too. I don't know. I've just never heard anyone mention it, but I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that was pretty cool. So yeah, and so now it has been acquired by the most famous transgender woman, and it's airing tomorrow, and I'm so excited to see how it has evolved and progressed, and in today's times, I'm excited, and I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna love everything about it. I'm just so grateful to have been able to experience that. Grateful to my country that they gave me that opportunity. I want to apologize that I let them down by being pregnant, but I'm happy, and I do not regret my decision of having my baby girl. It was that Miss Universe pageant, and the organization, they provided the most luxurious, the most top level experience. We were cared for in the most luxurious way possible, and just very impressive. And kudos to the Miss Universe organization then, and kudos to Playboy too for knowing to be affiliated. Thank you to Playboy too, going back to that time. Really appreciative too that Playboy provided me with that invite, even though I didn't attend. But it's just really just such a great thing to be able to share that story, and for me to have this on YouTube so that my daughters, my grandchildren, and just every part of my next generation from now on, they can hear this story of mine. It's not everyone that gets to be able to tell that story, and I'm just so grateful and appreciative that I have this opportunity. And I wanted to touch on Adriana Lima. So what happened is, in regards to Adriana Lima, I read just, I think last night or the other evening, on one of my social media platforms, that she was being criticized because she had attended was it the something games, Hunger Games premiere with her, with her family, her daughters and her boyfriend's sons, and she was being just criticized for, her, how she looks, and criticized in regards to people saying that there's changes in regards to how she looks. And I just, I watched the Victoria's Secret show that aired just not too long ago, and she was in it. And at first I was like, wow, is that Adriana Lima? And you know what? I love it. I love how she is now. I love it. I love it when I see this like goddess just embracing being a mom, having children. I thought she was just beautiful. You know, wow, she's just, she has 5 children. And I just think that's amazing. I love it. You know, I love that she's not that into herself to just hold off on. I love that she's embraced it. It just makes her, I don't know, a woman. But also, you know, I don't want to, no offense to women who choose not to have children. No offense. I'm just talking about the, you know, how I really liked that Adriana Lima has embraced being a mom and has 5 children. I love it. And I think she's just gorgeous and she's a goddess. I mean, who are we to criticize this goddess that has chosen to have 5 children? Adriana Lima, I think, you know, she should just be left alone. She deserves to do whatever she wants to do with her body. Someone who has chosen to have 5 children and is that gorgeous, knowing how when you bear children, how it affects and changes our body, and accepting that. I mean, we just need to leave her alone and praise her instead. And briefly touching on Pamela Anderson too, I love those parts of her, like that quote in regards to, you know, housekeeping, her being hands-on with housekeeping, travel, her children. I love those parts of her that don't dwell on the bombshell aspect of her. That really touches on the woman part of her. And remember how I briefly touched upon the subject of the trad wife, traditional wife? There was a Miss Universe contestant, Miss Canada, who, instead of pursuing a medical career of being a doctor, she gave that up. And instead, she chose the path of just being a housewife and a mom. Hey, Google, who is the Miss Canada that chose to be a traditional wife?
On the website news.com.au, they say, former Miss Canada, Cynthia Loewen, had been set for a high-flying career in medicine, but just a few years ago she decided to leave it all behind.
You heard it from AI's mouth. I love it. I love. And that's it. I think those are just all the subjects that I wanted to touch on in regards to beauty, femininity, female, goddesses, queens, and just women in general, you know. I'm going to watch the 72nd Miss Universe pageant tomorrow night. Are you? Bye. I'll have everything I'm wearing and all the details in regards to this video in the description box below. Today I am wearing my gray colored, these are prescription contact lenses. They are like a gray brown color. I love it. And whenever I want the glam or something different, I wear these. It was my birthday on the 15th of November, so I'm 55, officially 55 years old today. And I celebrated. It was just a simple celebration with my grandson Levi brought me flowers and he brought me cake and we sang happy birthday. And he blew out the candles and it was, and just everyone in my life just called and texted to wish me a happy birthday.